There we are. Perfect. Okay, cool. Hi, everybody, and happy Sunday. I'm Heather Coleman. I am a telepathic medium. I see auras. I am considered clairvoyant, among many other gifts that I am blessed with. But I do want to say, before we get more into things here, everyone is psychic. Some people might be born with more just naturally open in that area, but it can be developed. Anyone that wants to develop um, their intuition and their psychic ability can develop it. So, um, interesting. Before we get to the cards, message coming through. We are all ageless. We are all ageless. And when we can fully integrate and align with our deep true nature as a soul, we are able to fully step into our true power. And when we are able to balance our soul and our divine self or higher self with our ego, which is our human identity, that's when greatness happens and when miracles can occur. And I feel like personally I've hit a milestone with that. I am 43 years old, and it's really, I feel like I'm at the cusp or at sort of the highest point, the peak of that now. And I see that as a victory, but some people would say, well, geez, you're already middle aged. Yeah, and some people don't find it until they're much older. Some people never do. Some people find it younger. But if your goal is to raise your vibration and ascend to your highest potential, just know that it can be done. And I've managed to do it. Some of you might know right away what I mean by those terms. But if you don't, there's many ways to understand them, many ways to define it. But just to elaborate a little bit before we get to the cards, when I talk about raising the vibration, we're talking about the calibration level that you're vibrating. You can Google this, you can research it. Um, I want to say it was David Hawkins, but there's a couple of these real genius folks that I sometimes mix up their names. But kinesiology, calibration scale. To give a real quick summary, although there's a lot to it, but I'll try to summarize it. The idea is that our souls and our whole selves can be vibrating on a scale of anywhere from 0 to 1,000. And under 200 is considered very less aware, less awake. But it is a scale, and we can work to raise ourselves up along that scale. Now, we're going to have some messages with a lot of water in them, which I personally find fascinating for many reasons. One, got a lot of blue here. I've even got blue hair. Although there's been a lot of debate about that, whether it's green or blue or teal. But I think that the consensus has been teal. But so like the color of water, right? The emotions are associated with the suit of water, in tarot and in the elemental level in our bodies and souls. And vibrations have certain number ranges ascribed to them on that vibrational frequency scale. Like anger and whatnot being around 200, I think. That's an estimate on my part. Joy, I believe, being at 500 to 700. Love being the ultimate highest. But we're talking about the highest vibrational love, where we are able to align ourselves with what we call Christ level or divine love. We might say it's different than the ways that our ego will try to fill any gaps that are actually an illusion. They're real, but they're also an illusion. So I know it makes perfect sense. But when we try to fill any perceived gaps in our needs, whether they're conscious or subconscious, and we're looking for love, and we think we're looking in the right places, but we may not be. What I'm talking about here is us being able to literally rise beyond that by this many things: self-awareness, awareness of our own soul, of who we really are as a soul, what our true needs are, what our real purpose is here. That's when we can get to that point where we can truly fill those gaps within ourselves with the highest form of love, which is the highest form of self-love would be channeling divine love from the heart chakra. So just some things to ponder. In the meantime, the cards this week, I'm still going to go ahead and show them to you so you can kind of see where you're drawn, because I think that's an excellent exercise that helps anyone who wants to participate to really connect with their own intuition. So I welcome you to do that if you're so inclined. And if you're not so inclined, you can just kind of hang out and listen to the messages. Either way is okay. Um, because I do feel this week that these messages are going to really just unfold as sort of a whole connected set of messages. But without any further ado, there we go. Two cards here from the first tarot deck I ever got, Angel Tarot, author Radleigh Valentine. Here's card number one. Here's card number one. Here is card number two. Card number two. The other two cards, there's a little less mystery, but that's all right. We've got the Mudras for Awakening the Five Elements deck. Author is Alison D. Nicola. And here is card number three. So you already know the title of it. It's Water Element. That's why it's no secret we got a lot of water here. Water Element. Card number four, I'm just going to show you this. Card number four. So I'm not going to take a gap. I'm going to trust that you're tuning into your intuition here. And let's get right into card number one. Again, from our Angel Tarot deck, the Six of Water. Again, that nice, beautiful blue color. We got a lot of it this week. In fact, every card we have has the color blue on it. But so, let's talk about the Six of Water. We've got elements of both what we might consider the upright and the reversed meaning this week. So it doesn't really matter whether you feel it's upright or reversed. I'm just going to deliver you elements of both. So we are looking at memories coming up, maybe a longing or a nostalgia. And the six, again, maybe nostalgia for how things may have been in the past. Could be both. Could be the flip side of that, where we're like, oh God, I wouldn't want to go through that again. Oh, now I remember this thing from my childhood. Ooh, that wasn't good. That really affected me. Or, hey, that was a really nice memory. So could very well be one or the other or both happening. And whenever we notice this sort of thing happening, there's many reasons for it. It's often but not always triggered by bigger energies happening with the planetary alignment, especially the moon. But with all that being said, when this happens, it's letting us know that we are ready to A, heal something from the past, B, enter a new phase where something in the new phase of life that we're either just stepping into or about to step into, like have just stepped into or about to step into, has some sort of a connection to the phase of life in which those memories are surfacing. So another nice watery word, which I love. So I'm going to draw your attention to the image. I hope you can see that. We've got this mermaid, and that really could be male or female with the short hair. You might notice how underneath this mermaid there is what looks like, could be sort of a ghostly mermaid. That would be the shadow self. So when those memories surface, if that's indeed happening for you, allow your shadow self to emerge. Let yourself have all of those, what we might call negative feelings. Let that come up to the surface to be worked through, even if it is difficult. Let's look at the cups on this card. Two of them appear really bright and clear. The others look more sort of ghostly and less formed. Memories are like that. Some are clear, some are less clear. Notice what memories for you are clear and what memories are less clear for you. Just observe that, because there are reasons for that. Goals can be like this too, and often those memories are surfacing when we are setting goals or visions for the near and maybe the more distant future that'll happen. And so, when you look at, again, two of these cups being super clear, some of them look more like less color, less fleshed out. It is okay to not have all of your goals completely clear, but still work on setting goals, even if you can admit to yourself, look, this vision isn't fully fleshed out, but I still would like to do X, Y, or Z. Even if it's not fully formed, still give yourself that chance, that voice, maybe write your goals, have a conversation with someone. So those are the messages that we have this week for card number one, our Six of Water, or sometimes called cups or chalices. And let's go on to card number two, and it's interesting. I almost said card number four. Very interesting. We have the Four of Air, which is usually, I feel at least, one of the more pleasant cards to draw from the suit of air or swords, the mind, the intellect. This card will come up when we are in need of a mental vacation. So give yourself maybe just an afternoon off to chill out, watch some movies, give yourself a mental rest. It's okay to slow down. A lot of times when we notice a lot of memories from the past surfacing, it's a sign that we need mental rest because your subconscious mind, for whatever set of reasons, is working through a lot. Now, what would those reasons be? Well, many. If you are learning something new, the human mind will draw on previous knowledge. So this might happen more and more as we go through life and as we age, right? We've got more experience under our belt, more memories in the brain. So that's one reason. Um, Another reason that this can happen is that a current situation may be challenging your beliefs for you to pull up and re examine and change those beliefs. So that subconscious mind very well might be working overtime. Sometimes this indeed is the reason we might need more sleep than usual or more meditation. And if we miss our body's cues for telling us, I need sleep, we might get sick in the body, but the truth is it started in the mind. Indeed, our mind and body are connected. So let's say our mind needed rest and didn't get it. The body will start to feel tired, but the problem originated with the mind. So let's learn to mind our mind. And again, sometimes that mental rest is just the way to do it. Another way is to pay attention to your dreams. Consider journaling your dreams. Okay, let's put aside card number 2. Card number 3, which you already saw, is water element. You know, it's kind of cool. It's labeled number 2, so it's funny how I just keep seeing some of these numbers mixed a little bit. It's very interesting this week. But let's talk about water element. Now, we already get into a little bit about how water is associated with the emotions, sometimes matters of the heart, relationships, and how we feel. Water is also associated with our endocrine and reproductive systems. I'm going to talk a little bit to you about this on the back of these cards, which I really like from our Mudras deck, author Alison D. Nicola. The yoga poses that are associated with our water element, there are others, but these are 3 really good ones. Pigeon pose, or half pigeon, triangle, and Baddha Konasana. Baddha Konasana, which is a deep squat. The sense of taste is associated with our water element. Sacral chakra. Interesting because I drew a card earlier for myself which had orange and is associated with that sacral chakra as well. So this is all connected. Hips. That's the final message about this. Pay attention to how your hips are feeling. All right. If your hips are tight, that can be a sign that your emotions are running high. Perhaps you need to spend some time minding your mind because your thoughts will be an indication of what your emotions are doing. Okay, so, all right, final card, which is going to give us 2 messages and a practical step to integrate the advice this week from our angels. Healing, this is a mudra, and it's titled Healing, and the Sanskrit name for this is Varuna. Varuna mudra, Varuna. And this is designed to help balance our water element and our sacral chakra. They work together, and especially good if you are looking to improve your diet. This is a nice mudra to help you to set those intentions and stick to the changes you're hoping to make in your diet. So we are going to bend that right pinky finger toward the right thumb with those other fingers out, which I believe I'm doing correctly. We're going to lay the back of the right hand into the palm of the left, and those left hands are going to wrap around, left thumb securing right. Left thumb securing right. I hope I'm doing this right. It's kind of funky. Well, the thumb's bent. Yeah, there we go. So, yeah, like that, or pretty close to it. So, this is a mudra you can practice. Remember, it's left hand cradling right hand. That's important. The which hand is which is important. The affirmation with this Varuna mudra is my natural breath flows in calm and healing waves. My natural breath flows in calm and healing ways with this Varuna mudra. Now, why would Spirit bring this card up this week? It's to give you a practical way to incorporate all of the advice that Spirit has for us to come back to center. And for a lot of people, it just to make a daily practice of sitting down for 1 minute or 2 minutes to do a mudra will help to calm down the racing mind we tend to have, especially around the holidays, to just get back to you and go inward and to hear what's happening in your mind and to feel what's happening in your body. And again, to balance the water. You know, with the start of the holiday season, ooh, okay, we're interrupting that night. Throat chakra. Blue, yes, it's connected. Water element, oh God, is strongly connected. God, to the sacral chakra. This is, we'll get to that too, but also the throat chakra. Oh my God. I feel right now like my throat is being filled with smoke. If you're trying to, oh my gosh, if you're trying to quit smoking, make that a high priority. That's the message, because right now my throat is constricting so much that a sensation I'm being given is that if any of you hearing this video, if you are a smoker and you're trying to quit, make that a high priority, because that smoke really is taking a toll on your physical and mental health. Oh, God. Okay, good. Now it's clearing. That's how, now that I delivered the message, the sensation went away and I'm relieved. If any of you listening to this are also psychic and you ever get these physical sensations and you don't know why, as fully as you can, try to see what that sensation is telling you and take the appropriate action. That's how you'll get rid of it. And I'm glad I was able to do that quickly, because it was not a pleasant feeling at all. But, all right, final message. With Thanksgiving coming up, remember to ground yourself, balance that water element. Emotions, for many people, can run high when we're with family. I like that message with the Six of Water about memories surfacing. That can just be by being around our family. It can also be that for so many of us, we may tend to, when we're around our family, we may not even realize this is happening, but we might fall into old roles that we played in our family when we were younger, skins that we thought we'd shed, identities that we thought we have left behind. So just watch if that does happen for you and work through that if it comes up. Because if you've done a lot of work on yourself and on your healing, observe if you find yourself feeling with your family the way you felt when you were quite young. Observe it. Ask yourself and your angels, what do I need to do with this information? And just know that you are the one who decides if and when you are ready and want to discard that old skin, that old role. You don't have to play the role anymore that other family members may have cast for you or put you in. Yeah, when you were a kid, okay, they made that decision, fine. You don't have to play that role. So I hope that this week's video has brought you some clarity, peace, insight, whatever it is that you came here for. And have a wonderful, beautiful Thanksgiving if you celebrate it. Namaste.